Hey y'all, thanks to Eric, the Nomadic Fanatic, for that first little intro clip. And when I saw that on his channel, it started me to thinking. You know, I've been RVing for a long time. I've RV'd or camped in a tent on a motorcycle, a two-man tent on a motorcycle. I had a small, one of those little imported pickups with a camper shell on the back with a bed that I built in there, a van with a bed that I built in there, a Class A, and now my Class C. And during all that time, I've seen some pretty strange things. From, as you saw in that one clip, people driving with the awning out. I've seen people driving with their steps out. I've seen people driving with their bat wing antenna up or their satellite antenna up. And actually, one time I saw this guy starting to drive off with his sewer hose still hooked up. He didn't get far. He stopped finally, but he didn't get far. But, you know, that made me start to thinking. You need to do a pre-trip inspection before you ever start moving your RV. You know, whether you camp for the night or you've been at a RV park for a while. And so I was going to show you what I do for my pre-trip inspection. And we'll just kind of do a little walkthrough, and I'll show you, and hopefully that'll help you. You know, as a pilot, we had to use a checklist every time we flew, every time, no matter how much experience we have. And so a lot of people will tell you, well, make yourself a little checklist, laminate it, and use that every single time. And it doesn't matter whether you've been RVing forever, whether you're just brand new at it, or you're just a weekend type RVer. You should always do a pre-trip inspection, whether you actually have a printed out inspection checklist or whether you do it from memory. So it will save you a lot of headache and money in the long run by doing that. It'll save you, could save you, the possibility of having something ripped off. So I'll show you what I do, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's head outside and I'll show you. Oh, I actually have to do 2 inspections. And I do my first one and inspect some things, and then I come back in and I bring the slide back in, then I go out and I check it again, and I move the vehicle and check the blocks, but we'll talk about all that. But I actually do 2 walk-arounds. So let's go and take a look. Okay, let's head on outside, and I'll show you what I do for my inspection. First thing I do, I step back about 10-15 feet. I then take a look at the side of the RV, general overall condition and security. I'll check my main awning. If it's out, I'll go ahead and put that back in. That'd be one of the first things I check on this side. And for me, all I got to do is walk into the steps there and push the button and retract the awning. Next, I go up here, I start at the front, and I look at my tires. Look at general condition security, make sure that they've got air in them, and there's no cuts or tears or anything like that. And personally, I don't know, maybe I'm paranoid, I like to look at the front of the tire where it touches the ground, right there, and the back of the tire where it touches the ground. I'm afraid that, some night I'm parked at a truck stop or Walmart or something like that, and some kids will come up wanting to just think they're cute and be vandals and place nails or bottle or something underneath the tires. If you don't check it, you run over it, boom, there you go, replacing the tire, and $250, $300 for a tire. Okay, then I come back and I look at the storage unit, make sure that it's secured. I don't know about you, but I travel with mine locked at all times. Now, I have some new locks on ordered, In case you don't know it, if you've been RVing for a while, you probably know this, but if you're new to RVing, the 90% of the manufacturers will use the same lock on all their RVs. So my key will fit your storage unit, your key will fit mine, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to change those to prevent any, you know, thing from happening. Keeping honest people honest, if you will. All right, then move back. Look at my front of my rear tires and the back of my rear tires there. Make sure that nothing's been placed underneath them. Just a general condition underneath, how everything looks. Make sure there's no leaks or anything that I can see at this point. Move on back. Make sure that my fridge vent cover here, fridge access cover, is secured. Come around to the back. Now, if I was towing a vehicle, I'd want to make sure that my tow bar was secure, the chains, safety chains were secure, the lights were hooked up. If I had my bicycle on there today, or anytime, I'd want to make sure that it's secured, tied down, and I personally lock it in place as well. Okay, just general condition and security. Back window. Come over here and look at my slides. And this is one of the reasons I do two walk-arounds. I want to check the slide before I bring it back in, so I've got to check it now and then I check it again after I bring it back in. And personally, I go up and take a look at on top. Oh yeah, don't forget, my storage unit, I always check its security and it's locked. Okay, all right. I also go up on top, take a second, hang on, go up here. And I look between the topper and the slide itself, make sure that nothing is flowing in there or throwing up there, wind blow it up there or something like that. Just make sure that it's secured before I bring it in and have something caught in there. Then I go on up. This is a good time to check if your batwing antenna is down or your satellite dish receiver, satellite receiver dish is down. In my case, look at my solar panels, they're secured, everything looks good. All my vent covers for my ventilation fans are secured, everything looks good. Overall condition, security, everything looks good up here. Now, if you don't have a ladder, can't get up there on yours like that, sometimes you step back 50 feet or so, you can take a look up on top and try to see stuff that way. All right, continuing on around. Make sure that storage compartment on this side is secured, locked. Again, I'm going to change those locks. Now, if you were at a campsite where you had hookups, you'd want to make sure that your sewer hose was put away and all the elbows and accessories and stuff like that for the sewer hose are put away as well. Check your gas cap, make sure that it hasn't been tampered with. Check your rear of your tire over here, general condition security, make sure nothing's in there. Come up, check the front. Again, looking underneath, if you can see any leaks or anything like that. Your electrical cable, if you had it plugged in, make sure that it's secured. Hot water heater door is closed, secured. My door for my generator is secured. Front of the slide looks good. Rest of the slide looks good. The little door for the propane is secured. Water connectors. If you had your hose, of course, hooked up to water, make sure it's put away and caps are back on. Look at the rear of the front tire. And the front of it. Continue on around. Look at the front of the RV. Not too many bugs today. Okay, make sure it's secured. Look underneath. And don't see anything leaking under there. And that concludes the first walk around. Now, the more you do this, the quicker you get. I was going kind of slow today because I was talking about it and everything. So let's go back in and finish up inside. Oh, one thing, the reason I have to do 2 walk arounds is normally I would start the engine and let it be warming up. But in this RV, if the engine's running, I can't operate the slide. So I've got to make sure I get the slide in first and then go ahead and start it up and back off my leveling devices. So after I start it, back off my leveling devices, I'll come back out, pick up my leveling blocks, and one last walk around and be good to go. Like I said, might seem like a lot in a long time, but it only takes you just, 30 seconds once you get used to doing it. And okay, let's go back inside and finish up in there. Okay, now that we've done the initial walk around, let's go ahead and bring the slide back in. Light on. Okay, let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, I'll let it warm up for just a second. Okay, there we go. Now I want to come off the leveling box. And remember, which way you put them, in front of the tire or behind the tire. Because if you put them like in front of the tire, and then you kept going forward to come off of them, you get a big boom as you came off of them. So in my case, I put them in the front, so I'm going to back off of them. Okay, now I'm going to go put pick the blocks up, put them away. Double check my under the engine after I start it up and let it warm up a bit. Make sure that it's all clean under there. Pick up my jack, my leveler, excuse me. Walk around here. I'll put those back in the cabinet or in the compartment and secure it. Slides in. Everything's looking good. Okay, get my key out and secure that, and I'll be good to go. Everything is secured. And I'm ready to travel. And that's it. That's what I do. That's my pre-trip. inspection. And again, like I said, you should always do one. Save yourself in the long run possibly some headaches. So I'm ready to travel. Okay. Okay, I picked the blocks up, put them away, did my second walk around, checked everything, looked underneath the RV and everything again, and I'm ready to go and drive off and enjoy my day. So, until next time, travel safe, be safe, happy hunting, Phil out.